Is it just me, or does anybody else remember making their first noticeable amount of money? For me, it was $7. And I'm gonna go ahead and share that story with you, how I made that first $7 and how I spiraled that into $3,000 in the cool way online, which is really cool to me at the time, when I was 15 years old. So I wanna kind of walk you guys through this story and explain how I did it, what I did, the struggles I faced, because it wasn't easy, you know, trying to even collect money online. How do you do that at a young age? So it's kind of crazy. I'm currently here in Thailand traveling, and it's kind of interesting because back then $3,000 was a ridiculous amount of money. You know, I was so proud of that. I still am. That was a really, really cool thing for me to do. However, I've learned that $3,000 is not going to get you very far in today's world. Things are expensive. Things cost money. In fact, just a laptop can set you back $3,000. So kind of crazy. I've been, you know, forever grateful for having those experiences and really pushing myself at a young age to try and figure out how to make money. And, you know, I appreciate my parents for not giving me everything, because that's, in my opinion, one reason out of many that really led me to drive myself to want to make money, because I wanted to have the power to make decisions even at a very young age. But I couldn't do that, and I realized that I couldn't do it without money. So I decided to make a change. I decided to start doing things. Now, what did I do specifically? I did everything, and I didn't do everything, but I did a whole bunch of different stuff. And what do I mean by that exactly? I tried trading stocks for years. I even dabbled in stock options. I tried looking into Forex. Yeah, I was doing all sorts of affiliate marketing, pushing offers, selling my own services. You know, I didn't really have any really good skills, but selling my own services on freelancer sites like freelancer.com, Upwork, Fiverr. I tried a lot of things, and you know, I don't want to say they all failed. You know, I made a couple $1,000s over the course of like 2 years selling my services on Fiverr, you know, making logos, which I wasn't even that good at, but I would charge $5, $10 and people would pay me for it. So there was a lot of different things I tried to do to make money. Now, for me, when I was, I don't know exactly when it happened, I think I was like 15, when I got this first $7 check. It wasn't a check, it was a digital payment through PayPal. I got my first $7 payment through the business model that made me $3,000. Now, I can't 100% remember or track it. I believe I made, you know, other money, of course, online here and there, you know, through freelancing services, a little bit here and there with stock trading before I was 15. I was always into that stuff since I was 12. But when I was 15, that's when I made the first $7. And I'll never forget that day. I made the first $7 off of my income stream that I'll explain here in a moment that ended up paying me my first $3,000 pretty quickly at the time. It's pretty quickly. So, the interesting piece here, someone paid me $7 via PayPal. Now, when I got that payment and I got the notification on my old thick iPhone, I was like mind-boggled. I was freaking out, because up to this point, the only way I'd really made money for 4 years, I'd done it since I was 10 or 11, was mowing lawns. Working in the middle of a hot summer day outside doing manual labor and construction. That's the only way I had really made money. So it wasn't the actual $7 that was amazing to me, it was the act of making $7 while sitting inside in the air conditioning, not sweating my balls off. So that, to me, it was almost a proof of concept, or at least one proof of a concept, showing me, hey, you know what? Something might work. This is a great sign, and I was super excited. So let me explain real quick, and if anyone can guess, take a guess, how I made this $7. Okay, I hope you guys can see and hear me well. Let me adjust the brightness, there we go. But this $7 came from an income stream that I ended up utilizing very heavily for about 1.5 to 2 years, okay? About 2 years. So what was this income stream? There's a lot of mosquitoes out here in Thailand. They're biting me up. Anyways, this specific income stream was through growing Instagram pages and then selling advertising space on there. And that might sound complicated. Let me break it down for you and make it extremely simple, because it really was. So this actually relates to why I did it. It's because of my background. So when I was doing things online, there were some people I was listening to at the time, like Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone, and a few others back in the day, who always told me, hey, you know, they didn't tell me this directly, but they were always telling people, you know what, if you want to make money, you know, think about how any company makes money, you have to sell something. And I was like, huh, you're right. You know, the way that I had started mowing lawns, I had to go up to someone's door, knock on their door, all these bugs, knock on their door, and then I had to sell them on the idea of me mowing their lawn for 15 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever it was, right? So it was really, really interesting to me to be able to do that, just because I understood that. I was like, okay, that makes perfect sense. Sales, right? You gotta be able to sell something. So I started focusing on that, and I was like, what can I do to sell something online without my name or face being there? I wanted to remain anonymous because, and I'll just give you the reason straight up, I don't mind. Personally, I did not feel comfortable with the potential of my classmates and people at school, because I was still going to school at the time, seeing me online. I did not feel comfortable with that, okay? And you gotta learn to eventually just not give a hoot, but you know, I just didn't feel comfortable with it. That's me. I was an introvert. I was a very, very big introvert. That's my natural, you know, personality type, okay? You can't shy away from that. So for me, I never wanted to be online. I didn't want Hayden Bowles to be there. Now, what I ended up doing was being anonymous, being incognito. I was the person behind the scenes, behind the pages. So I built very big Instagram pages about luxury cars, yachts, cool travel destinations, private jets, hot girls, fun parties, funny videos, fight videos, every single type of page you could think of, I was working to build them. And now this is a whole different topic on how I built the pages, how I learned to do that. Essentially, I just hustled. I just was posting content, I was trying different hashtags, watching videos, trying to learn how to grow, trying to learn how to go viral. It was a little bit easier 4 years ago, but you know, I eventually got into like engagement groups, found 50 other people doing the same thing, and we all like learned from each other. It was really cool. I have some very OG friend connections. Actually, one of my first and still business partners to this day, who I actually share a home with in California, I met him through that. It was crazy. That was one of my like real first friends online. And I didn't know his name, didn't know who he was for quite some time. We were just a page doing business together for a year. Absolutely wild, right? And to me, I liked it that way. I didn't want myself to be out there. I didn't feel comfortable with it. It's as simple as that. And now you guys might be in a similar position, and there's always ways to be the person behind the scenes. Always, just run a business online. However, you know, for me, that's what I focused on. So essentially, I started building up these pages. I remember the page, it was a luxury page. I posted all sorts of houses, cars, boats. It was a mix. And someone wanted to pay me $7 to advertise their bracelet. Some of you might have seen this as like a little lion bracelet, like a black thing off AliExpress. And they said, hey, I'm gonna give this away for free and just charge people shipping. Can I pay you to post it on my page? I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, what are your rates? And so all of a sudden I have rates now, right? So I decided to make up this little spreadsheet. I was like, you know, I have like a $2 option, a $5, and a $7. And like the 7 was just like, it was like 24 hours on my page, something ridiculous, which I should have charged more for. But he's like, I'll do the 7. And so I'm like, perfect. I'm like, perfect. How do you want to do it? And he's like, well, do you have a PayPal, or how do you normally take payments? I'm like, yeah, I normally do it through PayPal. I'd never taken a payment. And so I had to go make a PayPal, have someone help me open that because I wasn't 18. And it was a whole interesting thing, but he paid me $7, sent me over what he wanted me to post. I posted it at the time that he requested, and that was that. He was happy. I don't know if he made sales or whatever, but you know, I got $7. And that for me was a proof of concept on an idea. It showed me that something worked, and I'll tell you what, that legitimately changed my life, because now I started looking for people. I started posting my pages on those freelancing sites, Fiverr, Upwork, you know, things like Upwork.com, excuse me, not Upwork.com, Freelancer.com, posting my things on there saying, hey, I'll advertise your product. You know, if you want to sell your service, post it on my page. And I actually started getting a lot of business that way, okay? And that's one of the ways that actually contributed to this 3,000. But there was one other way as well, all right? Let me change the battery on the camera because we're about to die, all right? All right, and now we're back. So this is interesting because that income stream over the course of about 4 months netted me about $1,500. Now it's funny, there were people with similar sized pages to me making more money. I guess I wasn't good at the selling aspect, or not as many people were hitting me up. But that contributed to about, I would say, $1,300 to $1,600 worth of that 3,000 over 3 to 4 months. Now, about halfway through that, I started doing something that started making me about $500 to $900 a month. I remember it because I had 1 month where I made $956.80. And I'll tell you right now, when you're a kid who is only, again, the only source of income is outside mowing grass, carrying buckets, digging trenches, working construction, being on a roof, which is dangerous, in the middle of summer, sweating your balls off, and then you go to make $900 and over $950 in a month online, again, in the air conditioning. I can't stress that enough, because to me, I was so grateful for it. My mind was blown. And now that was only off one income stream. I'll explain what that one was in a second. You combine that with selling shout outs, what they're called, shout out page space on your pages, okay? You combine that, I made, I think, like $1,400 in 1 month. In 1 month. And now I was hustling like 15 hours a day, so if you break that down, that's really like $40 a day, which is terrible. But anyways, I didn't care because I was learning a skill, and to me there was potential to grow. Every single day my pages would grow like 500 followers. You know, I was growing. I had pages with 50,000, 100,000. I had one page with 600,000 followers. It was growing and I could make money off that page. In fact, I had offers that people wanted to buy the page, and I should have taken this at the time. I got one offer for $13,000, and I only had like $4,000 to my name at the time, and I should have done it, but I was starting to make at the time like $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, and it was going up just off that one page. So I'm like, oh, it's a long-term investment. I should have done it looking back, but you know, things happen, whatever, that's a different story. But so, the other half to that really supplemented the income was me selling courses and different softwares as an affiliate through a website known as ClickBank. So some of you guys might have heard of ClickBank, you might have heard of JVZoo. These are very popular affiliate websites where essentially you sign up, it is free, there's no cost, and someone gives you a link. And through that link, anyone who purchases whatever service, whatever software, the games, apps, there's any sort of offers, there's millions of different things you can sell digitally, you get a cut of that sale. So what I started doing, people on these luxury pages would DM me saying like, oh, you know, how do I grow a page? How do I learn how to start making money online? Because like, you know, people would just hit me up about that. And I'd be like, oh, go through this course or check out this software, it helps you grow your page. And I started making money. I started making money off these pages. Now, towards the back end of this, that's how I made my first $3,000 online. And I made a lot more actually off of this. I ended up making my first $2,000 a month residual income stream through an Instagram growth software that actually worked at the time that I was selling as an affiliate. Okay, and I used my pages as credibility because I had proof of concept. Someone has like 800 followers and they're like, hey, how do I grow on Instagram? And I have over 1 million followers between my pages. Guess who has credibility, and guess who's gonna pay $30 a month to join that same thing that I tell them to? Those people. That's sales, right? I was selling something, which again, you have to sell something to make money. Now, nobody knew who I was. My name was not out there. It didn't matter. And I was happy with that. You know, I wanted to do that. I wanted to be the person behind the scenes. This right here, what's up? This is not something I ever saw myself doing. I didn't care to do it. Now I love to inspire people. I love to share my story. I like to be practical and be real. I feel like there's a lot of BS online. There's a lot of stuff, and it's totally okay. You just filter out. You should have a natural filter of what you decide to listen to. But for me, you know, I just saw that there was more potential. There's more things, and I could form really cool personal connections. I would not be here in Thailand. I would not be in Paris next week when I'm gonna be there. I wouldn't have just been in Bali again for 2 weeks. I wouldn't have been in London and Singapore before. I wouldn't even live where I live if it wasn't for this, because the events that have happened because of me knowing people that I met through stuff like this. It's crazy. So to me, I've been very appreciative of that. But back to the whole point of here, you know, making my first 3,000 online, I didn't really go spend it. You know, I always had the money. I was always like spending it, I guess, investing back into business things. And I kept losing my money over and over, but I kept making it. So I was able to supplement that income from my, you know, manual labor, which, trust me, I still did. Mowing lawns only took me like 5 hours a week, and I would make like, you know, an extra 800 to $1,000 a month. Top that on top of $2,000 a month. Now I'm at 3. Why would I not do that? I'm not gonna give up a third of my income, you know, for very easy work. It's just hard manual labor, but it's not a lot of time. So I didn't mind. So the moral here is sell something, first of all, find something to do. You can play into your strengths, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. Arguably, being an extrovert gives you a little bit more power, but being an introvert, if that's like a real feeling you have, and let me know if this is, you know, you, if you relate to this. This is me. I had such a power to want to be an introvert that drive of wanting to be one and wanting to be behind the scenes drove me to figure out a business model and make it work that allowed me to do that. Okay, which is crazy to me. So I definitely, it helped me work by doing that for sure, because, you know, I didn't have to worry about people seeing me or what people thought. It was just me in my parents' basement with a big fat L desk. There was a big oak desk that I bought for $100 on Craigslist. It was just me, the desk, my computer, my notebook, and the internet. That's it. You know, nobody saw me. I was in the corner, tiny little window in that room looking at a pile of dirt and a fence, right? I didn't come from a penthouse view. I didn't come from even upstairs, right? Yeah, I grew up in the basement. So yeah, I literally worked and came up out of my parents' basement, and I didn't mind. I did my thing, you know? So it's a lot of fun to me. You know, stories like that to me will help a lot of people, because you can really, again, hopefully, like me being real with that, understand the grind behind it. I mentioned in this video that I was working 15 hours a day to make $1,300 to $1,600 a month. Do the math. That's $40 a day times 15 hours in a day. That's, I think, less than $3 an hour. That's not very good, but you know what? A lot of that time was spent learning and watching videos and researching and like self-growth, because I didn't know anything, you know? I still don't. I'm still like trying to learn stuff. I always learn stuff. So that for me is something I really focus on. You know, now I've been able to use that money, get into e-commerce, which is the business now that's allowed me to take something from, you know, a 4-figure income to a 6. So boom, like a month. So it's been absolutely insane. So for me, I'm forever grateful for, you know, the things I did that didn't work, because that led me to find what did work. The act of me working my ass off to do this, and this, and just run through all that, it helped me a lot. That's what led me to discover the things that did work for me and meet the people that helped me get into that and help me do it better. So I really just want to make sure that, you know, I'm being straightforward and honest with you guys. If you have any questions about your situation, you know, if you want more help, go ahead, leave it in the comments down below. If you want help with e-commerce, which again is the business model I can do, and you can get into that with very little money, I do have a free training. If you go check it out in the link below, we're just opening it up. Normally that's a paid training, but I want people to go through that for free, because it shows you how to start everything from scratch with little to none. You know, little to none anything, little to no work, little to no money, how to slowly get into that. It's not gonna be quick. You're gonna have to work your ass off, and I can almost guarantee you, you're gonna fail at least once or twice with that. But that's a part of it. That's a part of it. I kept going broke. That's where I kept spending my money that I was making off the shout outs and the affiliate marketing. I was going right to e-commerce, and I kept spending it. I kept blowing it because I didn't know what I was doing until I built those skills. So if you wanna get into e-commerce, check out the free training. If you guys have any questions about anything you might be trying to do, maybe you're making a couple $100s a month with something, or trying to get into it, or trying to scale it, let me know what your problem is in the comments down below. I would love to solve it directly for you in the comments. If you want to remain anonymous, totally cool. Or I'd potentially address it in a video. Let me know if you guys want me to make some videos, maybe Q&A or something on a topic like that, where I go through a few main questions. Let me know if that's something you would find value in. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, if you're still watching right now, I would greatly appreciate it if you went ahead and took 2 seconds out of your day to drop a like down below. It's free. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video, and I would greatly appreciate it, you guys. All right? Have an amazing day. Keep working, keep hustling, and make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'm coming at you with really fun content 3 times a week as I travel the world. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.